Coming up for us.
Let's respect people who showed up to give their voice to us.
Resign now! Resign now! Resign now! Resign!
Outrage clearly over racist comments reaching a boiling point at a city council meeting in LA. I'm going to speak with one of the city council members next. Protests erupted at a Los Angeles City Council meeting, almost shutting it down. Watch.
To members of the public, this entire council is meeting today to work through these issues, and let's respect people who showed up to give their voice to us.
Crowds both inside and outside City Hall were demanding the resignation of 3 Latino council members over racist comments heard on a leaked audio recording. Add to that, President Biden is now calling for those members to resign. So, Nick, where do things stand now?
Well, President Biden joining a long list of people calling for these council members to resign. His press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said he believes that they all should resign. They are all Democrats, all therefore members of his party. Now, at that meeting, there was sadness, there was shock, there was anger, there was pointed profanity. All of this based around this leaked audio on which the president of the city council, speaking about the young black son of a fellow council member, said that he was misbehaving at a parade and, quote, looks like a little monkey. Now, all of this was part of a discussion about redistricting, which is, of course, often viewed through the prism of race. And in that conversation, the council president, Nuri Martinez, also said of the city's DA, F that guy, he's with the blacks. So what could be the long-term impact of all this? Well, take a listen to one of the speakers from that city council meeting.
These 4 individuals have possibly damaged the decades of intentional and difficult work of building multiracial understanding and solidarity among Black and Latinx communities.
Now, the acting president of the council laid out a bunch of proposals yesterday, one of them having an independent body handle that redistricting. And that acting president also said that I do not believe we can have the healing that is necessary or govern as we need if these 3 members remain on that council. Okay.
Okay, Nick, thank you. Joining me now for more on this is Los Angeles City Council member Corinne Price, one of the members of this very council we're talking about. Councilman, thank you for coming in. You've called for your 3 colleagues to resign as well. You've called their actions unforgivable. If they stay on the council, if they stay on the council, though, will you be able to work together to serve the people of your city?
I think it'll be very difficult, Kate. I certainly agree that the statements made were outrageous and totally inappropriate, especially by elected officials and especially under any circumstance. But in LA, a multicultural, multi-ethnic city, those kinds of feelings just have no place. And so I'm going to be working with my colleagues as we work to create a situation for healing, working with the community, and restoring faith in our government.
I want to play for you what Councilman Mike Bonin, who this is all about, and his son, what he said at the meeting yesterday.
I can never really know or comprehend or feel the weight of the daily relentless racism, anti-Black racism that my son is going to face. But man, I know the fire that you feel when someone tries to destroy Black boy joy. Man, it's a rage.
This is a very tough moment for the entire council and the city. But you talked about unifying. Could this be a moment of racial healing?
Well, I think it can be. I think, first of all, though, these 3 members have to resign. Otherwise, there will be no peace. They've got to resign, and we have to start having some frank discussions about programs and policies and about being more and more inclusive. I support the idea, for example, of an expanded council. Perhaps we should have more members with smaller districts, greater accountability. I certainly believe we should have an independent redistricting committee, a committee that does not have the council with the final say. And we have to work to make sure that we are pulling everybody together in this discussion.
One thing that people might be wondering.
The healing can. I was
Go
going to say
ahead,
healing can begin, but it won't start until these three resign.
One thing people might be wondering is, can they be forced to resign? And it seems from everything I've seen, it's very hard. There could be a recall election, but that is costly and very expensive, costly and can take a long time. So if that's the case, have you tried to have a personal one-on-one conversation with these members, with Nuri Martinez, for example, away from the microphones, a human-to-human conversation to express this, to tell them how this whole thing has made you feel, what it is doing to the city, and also to hear what they have to say, considering it seems very hard that anyone can force them to resign?
You're right. They can't be forced to leave. Recall takes time and will cost. The best result is for them to resign. We appoint a caretaker and then decide how the next election will take place. But yeah, I've spoken with a couple of them, indicated the heart burn they're causing, the pain that they've caused, urging them to resign. Yesterday morning, I spoke to two members, asked them to leave the floor even, because their mere presence it just creates the kind of chaos that we cannot tolerate if we're serious about moving forward. And I think we have to. We are a resilient city. We worked hard creating the kind of relationships, especially between black and brown communities. We want to make sure that those bonds are reinforced, that we don't let these statements and comments tear us apart. But we want to make sure also that we are governing in a way that's more inclusive, that's more collaborative, and that takes everyone into consideration.
Councilman Price, thank you for coming on. Coming up for us.